In the ancient city of Jerusalem, where history and prophecy converge, a chilling revelation is taking shape. Biblical prophecies of end-time events are unfolding with alarming precision. A prophecy foretelling war in the sacred land of Israel. The ongoing brutal conflict between Israel and Hamas has ignited global speculation. Could the return of the Messiah be imminent? So let's dive into the video to know the truth. In the Bible, Jerusalem stands out as God's city, a place where His presence is strong and where His temple was to be built on Mount Zion. The idea of Jerusalem as a special place is found in verses like 2 Chronicles 6:6, where Solomon acknowledges it as God's chosen spot, and Psalm chapter 132, verses 13 and 14, highlights Zion as God's dwelling place. The modern formation of Israel was heavily influenced by the suffering and persecution of Jews, especially during World War II and the Holocaust. This trauma fueled a strong desire for a safe homeland, leading to widespread support for the creation of a Jewish state. After the war, Jewish people, dispersed across various regions in what's known as the Jewish diaspora, sought refuge in Palestine, contributing significantly to the development of modern Israel. They brought diverse skills and experiences that shaped Israel's infrastructure, economy, culture, and society. From a religious perspective, the establishment of modern Israel is considered by some believers as a spiritual reawakening for the Jewish people. It's seen as the fulfillment of God's promises and a symbol of the chosen people returning to their faith. Biblical prophecies, like those in Ezekiel chapter 37, verses 1 and 14, symbolize the revival and reunification of scattered Israelites. Other prophecies in Jeremiah and Isaiah speak of God gathering His people from all nations and bringing them back to their land with promises of forgiveness, close relationships, and prosperity. Additionally, the founding of modern Israel is interpreted as the fulfillment of God's covenant with Abraham, where He promised the land of Canaan as an everlasting possession for Abraham and his descendants. Jerusalem and its significance. Jerusalem is crucial in many biblical predictions about Israel. For instance, Zechariah 8:3 says God will come back to Zion and live in Jerusalem, showing how important it is in God's plan for Israel. The Bible also mentions Jerusalem in end-time events, with nations attacking and the Antichrist demanding worship there, indicating the nearing end of the age and the awaited return of the Lord. Zechariah chapter 14, verses 3 and 4 prophesies the Lord fighting against nations with His feet standing on the Mount of Olives before Jerusalem. Throughout history, Jerusalem gained religious significance, especially during the reigns of David and Solomon. It holds deep reverence in Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, with the Temple Mount considered the holiest place on earth and the third holiest Islamic site. Prophecies fulfilled. The connection between Jerusalem, Israel, and religious faith highlights this sacred land's importance in believers' hearts. Ancient prophecies seem to unfold through the revival of Israel's barren land and the anticipated rebuilding of the Third Temple. Many prophecies about Jerusalem and Israel have been fulfilled or partially fulfilled, with ongoing discussions about those that haven't. The first prophecy is the transformation of the once barren land. In the Old Testament, a prophecy in Zechariah chapter 8, verse 12, spoke about the prosperity of Israel, saying, "The seed will grow well, the vine will yield its fruit, and the ground will produce its crops." Miraculously, this prophecy has come true. Israel, once a barren and desolate land, faced challenges like arid climates and limited water resources. However, the country has become a global leader in agricultural technology through advanced agricultural techniques. They use smart irrigation systems like drip irrigation to maximize crop yields while conserving water. Research efforts have led to development of drought-resistant crops, ensuring increased productivity and water conservation. Land reclamation projects and soil improvement techniques have also transformed unproductive areas into fertile agricultural land. The progress in agriculture and the greening of the land can be seen as the fulfillment of these prophecies. Now there's the reconstruction of the Third Temple, another significant biblical prophecy. This prophecy is based on passages in books like Ezekiel and Daniel. Ezekiel provides a detailed vision of a future temple in chapters 40, 48, describing its measurements, design, and splendor. It's portrayed as a magnificent structure where God's presence will dwell among his people. The book of Daniel mentions a ruler making a covenant but ceasing sacrifices and offerings, possibly alluding to the desecration of a future temple. These prophecies have ignited discussions about the rebuilding of the third temple. Many see it as a crucial place of worship, where God's covenant with his people can be fully observed. Some also view the temple's reconstruction as a significant sign of the imminent arrival of the Messiah, in line with the Hebrew prophets' prophecies, the third temple's religious significance. The concept of the third temple holds immense importance for both Jews and Christians. For Jews, it symbolizes redemption and serves as a central place for worship, allowing them to fully uphold their covenant with God. In Christianity, the anticipation of the third temple stems from biblical prophecies related to the end times. However, interpretations vary among Christians. Some see it as crucial in Christian eschatology, while others emphasize the new covenant, stating that every believer's body and gatherings now represent a temple. In Judaism, the significance of the third temple is deeply connected to eschatology and messianic expectations. Many anticipate that the Messiah's arrival will coincide with the temple's rebuilding, symbolizing redemption and ultimate peace. The resumption of ancient Jewish rituals, including sacrifices, is seen as a sign the third temple will be constructed. However, the political implications of rebuilding the temple on the Temple Mount, a site significant for both Jews and Muslims, pose challenges due to potential tensions and conflicts. Historical and political complexities. The Temple Mount, home to the Dome of the Rock and the proposed Third Temple, has been a historic source of conflict between Jews and Muslims. The Dome of the Rock, a sacred Islamic site, was constructed in the 7th century on the Temple Mount. Disputes over the precise location of the Jewish temples have persisted throughout history. To prevent violence, a status quo arrangement was established, granting Israel overall security control, while Jordan's Islamic YCF manages day-to-day affairs at the site. However, historical debates and disputes over the Temple Mount's significance reveal a complex interplay of religious and political factors. Following a powerful earthquake, archaeological findings around the Temple Mount provided evidence of the Second Temple's existence. Excavations revealed a staircase and a mikvah, Jewish ritual bath, supporting the historical connection of the Jewish community to the Temple Mount during that era. Temple Institute discoveries, achievements, and reenactments. Let's explore some intriguing discoveries and preparations surrounding the Third Temple. Archaeologist Robert Hamilton made significant findings, uncovering coins from the Second Temple period, indicating human activity during that era. He also revealed remnants of a Byzantine mosaic, suggesting structures from the Byzantine period. These discoveries added layers to the historical tapestry of the Temple Mount. Despite these revelations, whether Islam will vacate the Temple Mount for the Jews to build the Third Temple remains uncertain. However, Jewish resilience prevails. The Temple Institute in Jerusalem, dedicated to studying and preparing for the temple's reconstruction, has been at the forefront. The Institute's achievements include replicating the golden menorah, the altar for burning incense, the table of showbread, and the copper laver. They've also recreated the high priest's garments, crucial for proper temple rituals. A pivotal aspect of their preparations involves the red heifer, a requirement for purification rituals before building the Third Temple. In an unexpected turn, a Christian group donated some red heifers meeting biblical specifications. Efforts from various organizations and individuals contribute to breeding these unique heifers. Recently, the Temple Institute reenacted the water libation ceremony, educating people about its significance and expressing anticipation for the temple's rebuilding. Led by Rabbi Yisrael Ariel and esteemed rabbis, the procession through Jerusalem's Old City featured priests and Levites in biblical garments, playing musical instruments. The route passed archaeological remains and an Arab village culminating at the Siloam Spring. Participants drew water from the Shiloh pool, symbolizing the life libation. The procession then returned to the mountaintop, where a model altar adorned with willow branches awaited. The 15-hour ceremony near the Western Wall became a focal point of celebration, attracting participants from various locations. While not open to the public, this reenactment honored historical traditions and rituals associated with the temple. It allowed participants to glimpse the past and express hope for the future rebuilding of the Third Temple in Jerusalem. Antichrist. Among the many biblical prophecies about Jerusalem, one particularly alarming one revolves around the Antichrist. According to books like Daniel, 2 Thessalonians, and Revelation, the Antichrist is predicted to be a deceptive figure opposing God, aiming for global dominance. Foretelling a time of turmoil, the Antichrist will present himself as a charismatic peacemaker, but intends to lead people away from God. Prophecies mention his extraordinary acts, establishing a global government, demanding worship, and persecuting believers during the Great Tribulation. Concerning Israel, it's foreseen that the Antichrist will make and break a covenant, bringing unparalleled distress. Though ongoing events echo these prophecies, the exact fulfillment remains a future anticipation. So what do you think of these shocking Bible prophecies in Israel? The moment is finally here. Are you terrified? Comment below and subscribe for more.